And it hurts me so much. This courtroom lied to you like that. Look at me. Do I not look like you? Honestly. 100%. You gonna sit up here and say that I'm not your son?
We had sex, unprotected.
It wasn't baby making sex. It was angry sex.
It's not about baby making sex. Sex is sex. Whether it's baby making, love making, hate making, still here is a baby. It don't matter what type of sex it was, unprotected.
I have from Illinois. Whenever she told me that I could meet Elena, I spent the last $80 I had, backed out, changed her phone number.
And that's like every number I get from you, it's always changed.
Try to contact her to meet Elena.
You won't believe this twist. Senior Miller steps up with a bold claim, asserting that she's proving to her ex-boyfriend, Scotty Rasmussen, that he is not the father of her 3-year-old daughter, Zaylee. She's quite confident in her claim, exuding a vibe of case closed. But just wait, there's a curveball coming up next.
You're here to prove to your ex-boyfriend that he is not the father of your 3-year-old daughter, Zaylee Rasmussen. You claim you've been in an ongoing court battle over custody, petitioned the court several times for a DNA test, all of which have been denied.
Yes, Your Honor.
The plot thickens, folks. Senior Rasmussen counters with a fiery retort, arguing that the reason behind Miller's denial of his paternity is her deep-seated hatred towards him. He's not just here to chat, he's here to prove he's the daddy. Stick around, sparks are about to fly.
And you claim the real reason Ms. Miller is denying your Zaylee's father is because she hates you. You say you've been there for your daughter her entire life, and you're here today to are Zaylee's father.
Yes, Your Honor.
Buckle up for this ride. Rasmussen details the marathon drives he makes to see Zaylee, covering 160 miles every other weekend. That's about 10,000 miles of commitment and a whole lot of gas station snacks. And guess what? This story takes an even wilder turn shortly.
I believe it's just out of pure hatred. She just doesn't want me to have visitation. I drive 160 miles every other weekend just to pick up my daughter and drop her off. That's about 10,000 miles. That's wear and tear on my car. She doesn't have any way to bring her to me. She doesn't have any way to meet me halfway.
And the accusations fly. The conflict escalates quickly as Miller accuses Rasmussen of infidelity, which he admits but quickly notes was a mistake during a rocky phase. Miller's not buying what he's selling, though. Don't go anywhere. The tea is just starting to spill.
She hates me because at the end of the relationship, when things got rocky, I'll admit it, I did go to another woman. I'll be the first to admit that. You know, it was my mistake.
Is that true, Ms. Miller? Tell me what you believe to be true in this situation.
Yes, I was very mad at him. He cheated on me through pretty much our whole relationship.
Things heat up in the courtroom. The judge dives into why Miller seems so hesitant to let Rasmussen visit Zaylee, suggesting maybe it's for tax reasons. Rasmussen is quick to defend his motives, emphasizing his sheer love for Zaylee. The emotional roller coaster isn't over. More ups and downs to come.
Because I believe that the only reason why he wants the visitation is to claim her on his taxes.
I want my visitation because my daughter means the world. I'll be in her life as much as I possibly can.
I mean, if he's driving 160 miles each weekend, the money he would get in his taxes, he's spending in gas.
I have my child support payments right here, plus an additional $3 fee, plus an additional $60 annual fee.
Are you keeping up? The judge isn't letting this go, probing deeper into Miller's stubborn claim that Rasmussen isn't the biological father. Her reasoning? Well, it's all about timing and geography. Rasmussen was states away when Zaylee was conceived. Brace yourselves. The revelations keep coming.
And that's not very much to get what she needs.
To buy her clothes so she doesn't have to wear cut-off sweatpants and the same t-shirt every time I pick her up? Is it enough money to buy her underwear so you don't got to keep putting her in diapers at 4 years old?
I have underwear for her, and she is not in diapers, she is in pull-it.
Talk about a bombshell revelation. Rasmussen shares a heartbreaking discovery from a past court session that first made him doubt his paternity. He had believed he was Zaylee's only dad. Talk about a plot twist. What's next? The truth is just around the corner.
And still believe I was the only biological father. And 5 or 6 months or so, give or take, after she was born, we were at Miss Miller brings it up that possibly not be the father because of another man that was involved. People we were talking to with the Family Court Commission did the math, and it turns out that would be a 10-month pregnancy, and that don't make sense to me.
Here it is, the moment of truth. The DNA results are in.
It has been determined by this court. Mr. Rass, you are not the father. Miss Miller.
Be respectful.
I'm sorry.
Strap in for a wild start. Mr. Webb drops the bombshell that the child might belong to either him or Ms. Forrest's husband after snapping out of a coma to find Ms. Forrest with a bun in the oven. 2 years of anticipation boil over as he feels duped by Ms. Forrest, who bailed on him during a low point. But hold on to your popcorn. There's more drama brewing just ahead.
Mr. Webb, you have been waiting 2 years for this day. You claim the defendant, Mrs. Forrest, left you for dead only to find out once you got out of a coma that she was pregnant and that the baby could be yours or her husband.
The intrigue deepens right off the bat. Ms. Forrest, flanked by her husband, steps up to squash the ongoing saga, adamant that her hubby is the real daddy. They're all in to debunk Mr. Webb's assertions and bring some zen back to their family dynamic. The atmosphere is thick with tension, setting the stage for an even spicier confrontation coming up.
You and your husband are here today, desperate to put an end to this drama. You say you have no doubt your daughter's biological father is indeed your husband.
Yes, Your Honor.
Just when you thought it couldn't amp up anymore, Mr. Webb lays down the gauntlet, vowing to fight for full custody if his DNA dances to the right tune. As temperatures soar, Ms. Forrest cuts in, adamant that Mr. Webb won't whisk their daughter away, underscoring the emotional heavyweight match unfolding. The stakes catapult even higher in the next act.
What are your intentions today if the DNA determines that you are biological father?
My intentions are to fight for full custody rights if she is my daughter.
Well, that's my daughter, and you ain't getting it.
You'll be gobsmacked by this twist. Ms. Forrest spills the beans about her fling with Mr. Webb during a rough patch, and her husband was tangled in legal woes. An affair blossoms, and a baby makes three, with daddy doubts fueled by their carefree rendezvous. The plot thickens, and what rolls out next might just knock your socks off.
My husband got in some trouble, and I ended up meeting Mr. Webb through one of my friends. We hit it off. I ended up leaving Mr. Forrest for Mr. Webb.
So you began a sexual relationship?
Yes, Your Honor.
And were you using protection at the time?
No, Your Honor.
Buckle up for this shocker. As the tale spins, Mr. Webb hints at a lineup of possible papas, which Ms. Forrest flatly rejects, sticking to her timeline, championing her husband as the pop. The waters get murkier as the narrative plunges deeper into chaos.
It didn't happen like that at first. Yes, we was in love. I was on life support. Phone calls saying that she was pregnant. I heard it from my aunt first. She had called me and told me that it was a possibility that Elena was my child.
She was admitting that she also had slept with other people. Did you think the other person was just her husband?
At the time, no, Your Honor.
The drama cranks up a notch. Bombshells drop about Ms. Forrest's antics, post-fling, and during Mr. Webb's stint in the hospital, hinting at rocky patches aplenty. Mr. Webb airs a letter from his mum revealing Ms. Forrest's hasty return to her marital nest, sparking a wildfire of speculation about her fidelity and truthfulness. Eyes peeled. What unfolds next is nothing short of riveting.
You did say, and there's a possibility.
Which I didn't get back Forrest until after Travis had done letter.
I have a letter from my mom where I was on life support. She came to drop off my stuff.
Which we were already broken up by then.
She had moved into a motel.
This
Forrest.
is evidence you'd like me to see?
This is a
Jerome, will you
mom's
hand that to
statement.
me?
They broke up like 3 days.
Not have
We were
any
fighting,
idea that we were
over,
split
and
up.
that was
Having problems.
it.
Your jaw will hit the floor with this one. They dissect the timeline of their last romp and the baby bombshell announcement. Ms. Forrest confesses to a last-minute tryst with Mr. Webb right before his hospital saga, aligning suspiciously close to the baby-making window. Brace yourself. The next revelation might just flip the script.
He's in the bed on life support, and now you have reconciled with your husband.
Yes, Your Honor, but I tried to see him. His mother would not let me see him.
I'm sure there were some feelings because you had gotten back with your husband while he's fighting for his life.
I loved Mr. Webb at the time.
Exactly did you realize you were pregnant?
The middle of September, because I didn't know at the time I was pregnant.
You won't see this coming. Tallying up the dates from the Bambino's birthday hints at a photo finish between Mr. Webb's farewell performance and Ms. Forrest's patch-up with Mr. Forrest, who's betting he's the progenitor, thanks to their timely tango. As the plot unfurls, the upcoming scene is poised to steal your attention.
My daughter was born on May 9, 2013, and then you take it back 9 months later, that takes it to the week of August 26th through August 31st.
August 26th through August 31st, you were sleeping with your...
Just my husband.
The thing about it, Your Honor, is we did have sex.
Well, that was the question I was about to ask. What day did you go into the
I
hospital?
went into the hospital on August 26, 2012.
This pivotal moment is a heart-wrencher. Mr. Webb shares his saga and yearning to connect with his potential mini-me, thwarted by Ms. Forrest's blockade. This rejection slams the door on any father-daughter bonding, magnifying the emotional stakes of this paternity clash. The next disclosure might just rewrite the entire script.
I have drove from Illinois whenever she told me that I could meet Elena. I spent the last $80 I had, backed out, changed her phone number.
And that's like
I
every
moved
number
back
I
to
get from you,
Tennessee
it's always
and try to
changed.
contact her to meet Elena. That is why
And
we
so,
are here today.
Elena is 2 years old. Has still not held this baby?
No, Your Honor.
Climax hits harder than expected. The curtains lift on the final act as the judge declares,
It has been determined by this court that her biological father is Mr. Webb.
All right, buckle up, because here we go. The courtroom is buzzing as the case of Herron, Medley, Johnson versus Medley kicks off. Two dudes, Mr. Herron and Mr. Medley, are here to prove to Mr. Medley Sr. he's their old man. They firmly believe the upcoming DNA results will force Mr. Medley Sr. to finally step up. Just you wait for what the judge has to say next.
3 different adults, 2 different mothers brought the same defendant to court today in an effort to prove paternity. Mr. Herron and Mr. Medley, you are here to prove to Mr. Medley Sr. that you are indeed his son.
Yes, Your
and
Honor.
say results of today's DNA test will force him to stop denying you.
The atmosphere gets thick with emotion as Miss Johnson steps up to the plate. She grew up without a dad and only discovered Mr. Medley Sr.'s existence later in life. After reaching out, he claimed total ignorance of her, which led her straight to court for a DNA test to sort out the mess. Get ready, because the feels are about to get even deeper.
You grew up without a father for 26 years and claimed that when you finally found the defendant, he claimed he didn't know you existed.
Yes, Your Honor.
Now you've petitioned the court for a paternity test to prove he's your father. Mr. Medley Sr., you say the results of today's paternity test will confirm you had every reason to doubt all 3.
Here comes a heartbreaker of a speech. Mr. Herron and Mr. Medley Jr. share their pain about flying solo without a dad. They're baffled why Mr. Medley Sr. would name one of them as a junior and even sign the birth certificate if he was going to deny them later. Their words cut deep, and just when you think it can't get more intense, it does.
It affected me in life. Want to know why you wasn't in my life? Why would you give me your full name as a junior? Why would you sign my birth certificate if you deny me as your child? It hurts me like all get out.
Time for some eyebrow-raising confessions. Mr. Medley Sr. spills the beans on his doubts about being the father, thanks to whispers of the mother's escapades. He even got hitched on his pastor's advice to make an honest woman out of her, despite his reservations. Applause breaks out, but don't go anywhere. The roller coaster is just picking up speed.
When I met her when I was playing in a band, which was about maybe 3 blocks from where she lived. She would come, she would be there, you know. And after about 4 weeks, she came up and introduced herself to me. But as time went on, I started hearing rumors that she was having sex with other men.
That's a lie.
So in your statement to the court, you claim you went to your pastor once you learned she was pregnant.
Yes.
And the tension's so thick, you could cut it with a knife. The sons confront Mr. Medley Sr. head-on about his MIA status and refusal to recognize them, despite their obvious resemblance. The audience backs them up, proving this isn't just a family squabble. Brace yourself. The truth bomb is about to drop.
His mom came down for Christmases,
Birthdays, everything.
Gave us
and she
everything.
treated us like we was her grandkid.
And
she told us no matter what your daddy say, you guys are always gonna be my grandkid. And that hurts me so much. This courtroom will lie to you like that. Look at me. Do I not look like you? Honestly. 100%. You gonna sit up here and say that I'm not your son?
I don't know.
How you not know, man? You looking at yourself right here.
Not the way I see it.
Things are heating up. The emotional climax soars as Mr. Medley Sr. is called out for not stepping up as a father. He tries to defend himself with tales of financial woes and past commitments, but his sons aren't having any of it. The courtroom is on edge, and the DNA results are next. This is where it all comes to a head.
If you had a child with a woman and you didn't believe it was yours, would you be there?
Personally, and you ask me that, I would be the man. And I would take a DNA test, and I would not wait 30 years.
Now,
You wait till we're grown to do all this.
This was back in the 80s. We did not have DNA. We had blood tests. Painful, they've been through enough. She would not allow me to do it. But now, wobble them out, so there's no pain in that.
Hold on to your seats, folks, because here comes the big reveal. The DNA tests are in, and Mr. Medley Sr. is officially the dad to both Mr. Herron and Mr. Medley Jr. The courtroom erupts with mixed emotion, from relief to betrayal. But don't wander off. The aftermath is something else.
Pertaining to whether Mr. Medley Sr. is the biological father of Victor Medley, it has been determined by this court that you are the father. So now you know. Do you have anything to say to your sons?
Well, I'm glad that the truth has come out.
As the dust starts to settle, the drama keeps on giving. After the DNA shocker, Mr. Medley Sr. tries to pin the blame on the kid's mom. His sons challenge his moral compass, sparking a fiery debate on fatherhood and responsibility. Stick around, because there's more heart-to-hearts on the way.
If your mother hadn't led such a promiscuous lifestyle, we wouldn't even be here.
First of all, my mom is not promiscuous. Second of all, my mom loved you. That's why she had kids with you. Think your morals and values how you think, sir.
Yeah.
Mr. Medley Sr., it's taking all of my energy right now to not come off this bench and just hug him up.
Every story adds a new twist. Miss Johnson recounts her journey of growing up in the dark, about her dad, and how a social media search led her to Mr. Medley Sr. Their initial exchanges were a cocktail of confusion and hope, setting the stage for today's dramatic showdown. The emotional roller coaster is far from over. Next up, the grand finale.
When I was 26, I finally found him. I set up a Facebook. I sent him a message. This may seem strange. You know, I had a conversation with my mom. My mom told me, "You are my dad." When I told him that he was my dad, he was like, "Oh, really? Oh, my daughter, can you please send me your number and I'll give you a call?" He was happy.
Just when you think you've seen it all, the emotional floodgates open. The episode wraps with Miss Johnson making a heartfelt appeal for clarity and connection with the family she never knew. The DNA verdict drops like a bomb.
I look like Maurice. I look like Victor. I'm the oldest, and he's talking about people being promiscuous. I'm 30, Maurice is 30. I'm 5 months older than him.
It has been determined by this court, Mr. Medley Sr., you are not her father.
Okay.
The courtroom is buzzing as Ms. Beckley steps up to the plate. Ms. Beckley opens her case against Mr. Allen, aiming to prove he is the father of her 1-year-old daughter, Adelaide Beckley. She is determined to get him to acknowledge paternity and take responsibility. Buckle up, because the sparks are just starting to fly.
Beckley, you are in court today to prove is the biological father of your 1-year-old daughter, Adelaide Beck. You say Mr. Allen has only seen his daughter one time since she has been born, and you want him to take responsibility starting today.
Yes, Your Honor.
You can cut the tension with a knife as Mr. Allen makes his stance clear. Mr. Allen expresses strong doubts about being Adelaide's father, citing disruptions in his current relationship due to Ms. Beckley's claims. He is visibly frustrated and denies any paternal connection to Adelaide, exacerbating tensions. Keep your eyes peeled. The drama unfolds even more.
You say you are more than certain you are not biological father and claim Beckley's accusations are driving a wedge and your fiance.
Yes, Your Honor.
So, Ms. Beckley, how do you feel that Mr. Allen has only seen your daughter?
I'm very angry, very frustrated. He's been neglecting her from day one since I got pregnant with her. I'm just sick of it, and I just want him to...
Emotions skyrocket as Ms. Beckley lays it all out. An emotional Ms. Beckley confronts Mr. Allen about his absence in Adelaide's life, detailing her struggles and frustrations as a single mother. Her testimony highlights her challenges and the emotional toll of raising Adelaide without Mr. Allen's support. Brace yourself. The emotional roller coaster is about to get bumpier.
To take responsibility of something we both made. It makes me feel angry. She's without a father. It's terrible that she has to go through that, and I'm raising her on my own. I just feel like you should be a dad to her, because you are her father.
And you feel like he's just neglecting your child.
With the other 2 kids we have, he's in their life, but you're not in hers. And it makes me feel like wow, like really?
The plot thickens as we dive deeper into their tumultuous past. The court delves into the specifics of Ms. Beckley and Mr. Allen's relationship around the time of Adelaide's conception, uncovering details of their interactions and the nature of their relationship, which was marked by conflict and separation. The next twist is just around the corner.
Well, me and Ms. Beckley had separated. We were co-parenting. We were still good friends.
On Germany's 2nd birthday, he wasn't staying with me, but he ended up coming back on her birthday.
It wasn't baby making sex. It was angry sex.
It's not about baby making sex. Sex is sex.
It was
baby making, love making, hate making, still here is a baby. It don't matter what type of sex it was, unprotected.
You won't believe what gets pulled out of the hat next. Evidence is presented showing Mr. Allen's acknowledgement of his other children with Ms. Beckley, except for Adelaide, raising questions about his commitment and involvement in Adelaide's life compared to his other children. As the evidence stacks up, the tension rises even higher.
Other children that he accepts, was he supportive during the pregnancy with Italy? Was he there for you? Doctor's appointment?
No, ma'am. I had emergency C-section. I was at the hospital by myself. He was not there. I have evidence, Your Honor.
I'd like to see it.
He signed Germany's and Xavier's birth certificate. Hers is not signed.
Just when you think they couldn't turn up the heat anymore, Judge Lake calls for order as the court session becomes heated, with both parties arguing loudly. This moment underscores the high emotional stakes and the complex interpersonal dynamics at play. Hang on, there's more fireworks to come.
She don't make Italy a factor to my life. She gave
You're denying her
for the simple fact that she want to hurt me and break me down as a father.
That's
she
want to
break me down as a
that's
man.
Why.
Like I said, I didn't have my biological father. He was murdered the year that I was born. So it will be a shame not for me to be there for my children. That's why I'm here today.
If I'm here raising her, going through the pregnancy by myself,
a whole year you deny me a DNA test for. I guarantee you if that little
Hold on, let's get some order.
The stakes are high as emotions spill over. Ms. Beckley's and Mr. Allen's interactions suggest unresolved issues and emotional entanglements, with Judge Lake commenting on their ongoing conflict and its impact on Adelaide. The suspense is building, and the climax is near.
You sat here as a dad, and with good intention, your desire that you've got to create more children to be the best father. And until you are financially able, it is about being the quality of father you can be, not having a quantity of children. And that's just the truth.
I work hard for every dollar to provide for my children.
The moment of truth sends shockwaves through the courtroom. The DNA test results are revealed.
It has been determined by this court. Alan, you are the father.
Told you. You too, fiance, stepmama.